What is up you guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be showing you how to do 2 layers of chipping for your scale models. The 2-layer chipping is an effect that you can use to show 2 layers of color being scratched or scraped. For example, having the top paints chipped to show the metal primer and then the metal itself underneath. Or another example is the top coat chipping to show the metal and then the rusting color underneath. To achieve this effect, we will be airbrushing 6 layers on the model. First is the primer, then a base color, followed by a chipping medium, then our second color, then another layer of chipping medium, and lastly the top color. I will be using the external fuel drums from the T72 to demonstrate this effect. Alright, so first we start with the primer. You get a nice matte texture to it, and this will make sure our base color adheres well. Next, we brush our base color. I chose a dark brownish color for this layer. This will be the color that will be visible when the 2 layers on top are chipped. The next layer is the chipping medium. You can go on and apply a thin coat to an area. You can check the thickness and coverage by putting it under a light. Don't worry if it doesn't look smooth, as the chipping medium levels itself as it dries. We apply 2 to 3 thin coats, making sure we cover all of the surface. We leave the chipping medium to dry for about 20 to 30 minutes. You can use a blow dryer to make the drying process quick, but you have to really be careful not to get it too dry, otherwise it won't do its magic later. So once it's dry, this is how it looks. You can still see a sheen from the chipping medium. We should now be ready to put in our next layer, which is the second color. I chose a light grayish color for this to mimic stainless steel. Once that is done, we are now ready to put another coat of chipping medium. So again, we do light coats, checking it against the light, and go over the model to do 2 coats. We leave this to dry and level again for about 20 minutes. Once it's a bit dry to the touch, we can put our final color, which is the top color that will be chipped. I used Russian green for this layer, and we just go over the model to coat it evenly. Alright, so this is how it looks now. There's a nice matte finish to it based on the paint I used. It looks smooth even if there are actually 5 layers underneath. At this point, we should be ready to start the chipping. This is the fun part in the whole process. We use plain old water and wet the surface of the model to activate or reactivate the chipping medium, as it is water soluble. We then use a tool to apply moderate abrasion to the surface. The tool of choice is a toothbrush. You can use other tools like an old paintbrush, toothpick, or anything that can scratch and chip the paint. I use a toothbrush as it makes some fine chipping. We just brush the surface, and as you can see, we're starting to get some chipping. We continue this process on all the surface and particularly target the raised surfaces, as these would be the most prone to chipping. As we're chipping the top layer showing the second color, there are areas where the second color is also chipped, exposing our base color. This is the effect that we're after. Of course, you can do this with just one layer being chipped, but there's no fun in that, right? For the edges, I use the back of the toothbrush to chip the paint. We just let the water dry, and this is now the result. Same as what I've shown in the beginning of this video. The 2 layers of chipping shows a bit more dimension, that's why I like this effect. May be tedious, but the results are worth it. Some points to keep in mind is to make sure the chipping medium is not too thick otherwise it will chip a large area. And for the paint, make sure it's not too thin, otherwise there would be nothing much to chip. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking this video and subscribe to the channel. And I will catch you next time in my next video.